Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, you know, on April the 6th, Thursday, April the 6th, the Progressive Male Leadership Conference will take place. And joining us with all the details, we have Ronald McKnight. We welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much.
Heard a lot about
me.
you.
Thank you.
I was talking to this young lady. You probably know her.
Yes.
Know who I'm talking about?
Read my mind. DeCosta. Yes.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
know
right.
very well. Yes.
Yeah. And she was telling me about you having something coming up.
Yeah, we're having the Progressive Male Leadership Conference on April the 6th of this year. Matter of fact, that's in a couple of weeks. And what we're going to do is we're going to speak to the young men that will attend about success, leadership, financial literacy. We'll have speakers that would speak on the STEM and how to get into STEM and grow in that area as well. Mm-hmm.
Why is that important to get involved with the STEM program?
Well, no, this country's taking a shift. You know, at one time we was in information. We're still in information technology, but agriculture, and then information technology, and now we're shifting to STEM and biotech and robotics and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to speak to our young men about getting into that area.
Yeah, and that shift has been happening for a while now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Now it's going to turn the corner.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it is going to turn the corner, and we need to be there. You know, when we talk about jobs and when we talk about education and what folks should be going to school for, this is the area of technology that they should be going.
And that's one of the things that the Male Leadership Program Conference is doing, right? It wants to let people know that these are the things that's happening in the future. Because a lot of people go to school and they don't know what they want to take. Should I do some liberal arts? Should I?
Yeah,
what should I get involved
I'm director for the Office of Multicultural Affairs at Bergen Community College, and so I get to speak to a lot of students, and they really don't know what areas that they should be taking classes in or getting their degree in, and I love my psychology folks, but folks are still looking at psychology and sociology, which is a good thing because we need that, but we also have cutting edge, and I think every youth today is really growing up in a very exciting era of really some cutting edge areas of business and technology that they need to take a look at. Yeah,
and get involved with a little more networking.
Exactly. Yeah. Networking is extremely important. When I speak to the youth, I run a program on campus called the Progressive Male Initiative, and we meet every Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30, and I speak to them not only about getting their studies right, but also about networking, because you can have as many degrees as you want, but if you have networked or you have networked in to a particular group, then it's going to be that much harder for you to move forward and be successful.
What do you recommend to students? LinkedIn and getting out there
yeah,
and going to
definitely
conferences?
LinkedIn, going to conferences, meeting and knowing your students on campus. Because these are the future leaders, the students on campus.
Yes.
These are folks who's going to become CEOs. They're going to become senior VPs of an organization. They're going to become head of HR. So and you need to grow with that group as well.
And what's the main topic of conversation at this conference that you have?
The main topic is just really getting students. Well, first of all, what we're going to do is have men from different industries show up and speak to the students.
Yes.
So that's going to be our panelists. We may even have yourself come in and say a few words to the students, encouraging words as well to the students.
I think Sandra has me coming. Sandra, I'm coming, right? I'm going. I'm coming and going.
Right, exactly. So we expect to have about 500 plus middle school and high school students there. And just to speak to them, because a lot of students don't know what success truly look like.
Yeah.
They may be in their prospective neighborhoods, and depending on where they grow up, their success may be a drug dealer. Their success may be,
It was for me.
Yeah.
It was for me because I saw this guy making a whole lot of money. He had a beautiful car. All the women were hanging around his car. I said, I want to be just like him.
Yeah.
So I saw the cops come and get him, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm also part of 100 Black Men of New Jersey.
Yeah.
So what we say is what they see is what they will be. So the other thing is to have these young men come into the college and see all these successful men in different industries, and it's important what they see, what they will be. I remember being 13 years old, and I always tell this story that I remember there's this guy that used to always walk down my block, and he always seemed to be like he was in a hurry. Always had a briefcase, a suit on, and I remember saying at 13 years old, I want to be like him, right? And so I'm now, we're gonna progress to so many years later. I'm in the elevator going in Mount Vernon. I grew up in a place called Mount Vernon, New York.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
money
so,
earning.
Money earning.
So
Mount
that
Vernon.
was
that's
the
right.
thing that was in the suitcase.
I wish it was. but check this. So what happened is I'm in this elevator going to see my mother-in-law, and coming down in the elevator, there's a young man there with his mom, and he looks over at me and says, "Mom, I want to be a businessman like him." And it took me back to when I was 13.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But it is true. And I tell my young men at the college, folks are always looking at you.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to decide whether to get the goodies or not.
Yes.
Depending on what they see. You know, if it's from the way you dress, the way you smell, the way, your hair, the whole bit. Folks are looking at you. You know,
people are looking for people to guide them in the right direction.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, when you were growing up, of course, you wanted to be like somebody. You wanted that person. So if you know that people are watching you, and the kids are like little human tape recorders. They want to be just like you.
They want to be just like you. You know,
and anything that you do, they'll do. So you have to make sure that you do the right thing.
You know, growing up in Mount Vernon, we had a lot of entertainments, whether it was in basketball, whether it's in theater, what have you. I grew up at being a model actor, starting from the age of 17, professional model actor. So I was in most of the magazines in this country, as well as being in soap operas and Saturday Night Live and so forth. Yeah, So I mean, that's who I saw, growing up. You know, I lived around the corner from Felicia Rashad and Gus Williams. Young folks probably don't know who he is. I used to walk past, my block, and so I got to see a lot of, what I call them entertainers, although they was basketball players, and actors and so forth. And that's what I wanted to be. And rappers. Heavy D grew up there. Albie Shore was all over always at my house. So Jeff Red and I. Jeff Red is from Mount Vernon. We take voice lessons together. So that's what I got to see. Yeah, he called and told me.
You called and told me.
That's right.
The name of the song too.
So
what will people take away from this? What you're doing?
So what we want to do is plant a seed in these young men's minds. So from the time that they're in middle school and high school, to begin to look at success as being very possible.
Yes.
To be able to look at becoming leaders instead of being followers. We're going to begin to look at finance literacy and pay more attention to their money. I remember speaking to my son, and I was looking at his Nikes on, and I said, "Would you be interested in probably owning a part of Nike?" And he looked at me, "Dad, how do I do that?" I'm like, "No, buy equity in the company." Begin to shift your money to buying into some of these companies, and you guys can do that at a very young age. You don't have to wait until you become an adult to do that.
All right.
So that's what we're looking at.
All right. Where can we go for more information on what you're doing?
For more information, we can go to bergencommunitycollege.edu or bergen.edu. You can also call me at 201-301-1695.
Yeah. And is what you're doing open to the public?
It's it's open to the public.
How do we get involved?
Right now, just give me a call, 201-301-1695, and from there I can direct you to our website.
And when they come, they're going to experience what, briefly?
When they come, they're going to experience possibility. They're going to experience a lot of folks in different areas speak to them about it being possible.
Watch this. They're going to learn how to make a whole lot of money.
That's a part of it. And we're going to show them how to grow into it. We're not talking about that fast money. We're talking about growing into it.
So how do we make a whole lot of money? What number do we call again?
201-301-1695.
There you go. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Ronald McKnight, the Director, Office of Multicultural Affairs at Bergen Community College. Thanks for stopping by, and come by again. Stick around for a second. Okay. We're going to take a short break right here, but stay tuned and stay there. We'll be right back with more Open next.